Hello everyone and welcome back. Sorry for the wait, Uh, let's get to it. Let's see. Got a thing at home. It's getting late. Are you ready? There for the night. Go back. It's late. Let's go try out all the new competitions.
Hi.
Hi there, Snow. Something on your mind. You make
I wonder.
I guess that's
Let's go!
nothing new. Oh yeah, it shows the... It's been a bit. Getting late, you're ready for night. Let's end the day, I guess. And I feel like we've done everything we can. Let's end the day. So I was setting over the town of Enamon Village. Valley. And you and your strange group of companions have returned to the alchemy shop. As everyone gets settled, you and Elizabeth stand together, observing the strange group.
Well, child, when I originally sent you out to bring back ingredients, this is not what I had in mind.
Mage, you keep your hands to yourself. I won't have you cooking up some vile magic using the remains of this shop.
I was simply trying to be a helpful guest, picking up some of the debris. But if you don't trust my abilities, perhaps Anne would be so kind as to use some of her tinker magic to fix this.
I specialize in magic-infused items, Michael. I can't just repair any chair or table I come across.
So you have specialized mages for fixing a table?
Well, of course not. The mages specializing in furniture do both chairs and tables. Don't be absurd.
She's adorable.
And you wonder why I don't get magic from the Mage Academy.
Because it seems like they're all idiots a bit, but like genius idiots, you know, the worst type. Elizabeth sighs.
It seems every time I send you outside on an errand, you return with more and more eccentric characters. I fear I should put you on house arrest.
It's like moving. Is it picking up my headphones? Is it picking up my voice properly? That's an important question as well. I always liked pets. I'm sorry about this. We're making a difference. I always liked pets.
I did used to pick up strays when I was a kid. Remember?
I'd say this is a bit more serious than a stray kitten. I understand why you brought these people here, and I respect Victoria's judgment.
So you're trying to set up the wire was for my mic was blocking the screen a bit.
I just worry all of this activity will draw unwanted attention to us.
There's a sudden knock on the door and the conversation dies.
This is strange. Who could that be at this hour?
Elizabeth walks over to the answer the door, and she barely has to turn the handle when it bursts open. The posing figure of Golner forces his way in, sneering at the group that awaits him inside.
Good evening, Madam Alchemist. I hope you don't mind a bit of a surprise visit.
Two more men step into the shop. Their figures imposing as they push past the mine owner and into the shop. Elizabeth keeps her cool, but you notice her knuckles turning white as she clutches her cane.
Messer Goldner. What an unexpected surprise. What brings you here at this late hour?
The crashing man roughly pushes the remains of a bookshelf aside in order to make his way out to the kitchen. Goldner grins smugly.
Merely the concerns of a good neighbor. You see, the lads and I have been quite distraught about these strange occurrences. First the forest, and then this strange fire. And now it has come to our attention that an outlander is sneaking around somewhere in town. We were merely concerned and wanted to check in on you, to make sure he hasn't been hiding out somewhere in the remains of your shop.
You crash out the back, the sound of something shattering. Your friends are very clumsy. Please leave. And your friends are very clumsy,
Your
it
friends
seems.
sure are a set of clumsy fellows. Are they like this when you invite them home for tea, too? Must be a hassle.
I remember you. You were down at the flower shop as well. Magic filth plotting together, are you? No wonder we citizens have to take matters into our own hands.
Pot calling the kettle black? You hypocrite. Let's be reasonable. Pot calling the kettle black.
Talk about pots and kettles. The mines have made you rich by providing resources to magic scum like me. So what exactly does that make you?
You filthy little.
You know as soon as the words leave your mouth that you've struck a nerve. Goldner's face contorts into something ugly as he raises his hand. Smack.
That is quite enough.
Elizabeth moves way too quickly for such an old lady, her cane smacking the man's hand roughly away before he can hit you.
I have tolerated your abhorrent behavior for the sake of keeping things civil, but I will not tolerate you laying even a finger on my apprentice.
You have never heard this tone in Elizabeth's voice before. Ever. Sure, you have seen her mad, but this is something entirely different. A level of absurd, absolute raw fury that makes even the man before her shrink back under her assault.
This is...
Sparta.
Don't you dare speak like this to me. Do you even understand what you're doing?
Oh, I understand perfectly. Now, be so kind as to get lost.
Wait, she has an owl on her whatever that's called. There's a voice actor from one of the best TV shows, The Owl House, in here. It's probably just a coincidence, but it's funny that that exists. Makes sense though. Owls are like well known to be like involved in witchcraft stuff. Not as much as ravens and stuff, but still pretty well known. The man looks furious, eyes flickering between you and your teacher. I want a guy's. Oh, I was going for. Victoria stands up, her hand lazily coming to rest on the hilt of her sword. Red eyes glaring holes through the man.
Oh, we're having a brawl. Marvelous.
Wait, we're what?
I agree with this fight, but let's not get the two small people who are very clearly weak into this fight. And by that I mean Anne and mine. But I'm okay with punching him in the face. Grab some of that loose wood. Beat him over the head a couple times. Be great. Guys from the back return and take one look at Victoria's glare before quickly excusing themselves and rushing through the room and out the front door. Goldner looks flustered and frustrated, but even he can see the battle is lost and sniffs dismissively.
Very well. I shall take my leave. But be warned. This is not the last you will hear about this.
Man leaves, slamming the door behind him. There's a collective sigh of relief in the room.
Really? That was it? And here I thought we were going to have some fun.
Me too. I honestly thought there might be a fight, and we could just use some of this loose wood and gravel to beat the man to death.
Quiet, mage, or you'll be thrown right out with him.
Oh, Victoria, your bright spirit never fails to lighten up the mood.
There we go. That was weird. Elizabeth lets out a low chuckle and slumps against her cane, looking awfully pale. Oh, she's sick and dying, isn't she? A bit too much excitement there, huh? Are you okay? I'm so sorry. A bit too much excitement there, huh? Hey now, teacher, let's get you seated. That sounds a little bit too much excitement for you, huh? Elizabeth snorts as you carefully guide her over to a chair so she can sit down for a moment. That old weasel is hardly worth getting excited about. Why aren't you moving? There we go. But I guess I have become a little too old for this kind of thing. It is my own fault, though, for not wanting to admit sooner that this was the obvious outcome. That man has been on our case for years, always looking for a chance to get in and wreak havoc on our hard-won peace.
That seems odd.
Just who are they looking for, anyway? What do they mean by Outlander? There are people of mountain dwellers living beyond the border of the Alathanian Empire. They're a reclusive society that rarely interacts with any of their neighboring states. The fact that one of them showed up here at this time is highly suspicious.
A stranger far away from home, caught in a local conflict due to their race.
Sorry, getting some water.
How very predictable.
Will people hurt them if they find them first? We gotta find them first and get some answers. The enemy of my enemy. But if they're able to send Goldner into a frenzy like this, we gotta help them.
If nothing else, then just stick it to that pompous bastard.
You do realize.
What, you want to go outside? Don't you think it'd be best if we stayed out of this? We're already in way too much trouble for my liking. Come on now, Anne, my dear. Where's your hero spirit? Some poor fellows out there in the city being chased by an angry mob. Don't you want to lend a hand? Anne just glares at him dully and sighs. I guess we could go take a look.
Okay.
I agree that catching this person first seems to be in our interest, but he could have gone anywhere in town by now. Outlanders are magical beings, though, right? So shouldn't a hunter like you be able to track him down?
About that.
We should at least give it a try, right? He might have more important information that could help us. I loathe to admit it, but I agree with you, mine.
We don't have a lot of time, but paragons help you if any of you try something funny.
Fun? In your presence? Perish the thought.
Oh, I'm sorry if I'm, I did voices on the other last ones, I'm pretty sure. But my voice just is sore today, and I'm just stable enough to not go off random side tangents long enough to record. I'm taking, a lot of meds, and they make me a bit loopy. But I'm a bit stabilized right now. Get out into the streets and begin your search. Victoria takes the lead and hand firmly planted on the hilt of her sword, with eyes hard and focused. The streets are quiet at this hour, 8 hour, and you notice nothing suspicious on your way to the market square.
So, Victoria, you can sense magic as well?
Guess that explains how you found me out in the forest back then. Actually, hunters can't sense magic. It is the sword they carry that guides them towards chaotic magic. They are holy weapons forged by rituals following the teachings of Izith, the paragon and founder of the Mage Academy. I guess I shouldn't be surprised you would know about these practices, Anne.
Hunters did save my life by bringing me to the academy, so I've made it a point to be well informed.
Saved your life, huh? Also, Michael, would you stop that? I'm trying to concentrate.
Turn to Michaels, who's smirking instantly, a little purple flame dancing in his palm.
Sorry. I was just curious as to how effective the holy weapon of yours was.
He looks more like a priest. Like, artificer, noble, priest. That's the kind of vibe I get. And then druid, obviously, because flowers and ears and horns. Just druidy vibes, priest vibes, knight vibes. Well, noble vibes and knight vibes at the same time. And then, like, an artificer. Mostly because of the gloves. Feel like the gloves of an artificer. Honestly, all I see is the piece of dragon bone strapped to the hilt of your sword.
Really?
Dragon bone? It's quite the rare material. The dragons have been gone for centuries, after all. But it's quite popular in the use of weapon making, since it provides the wielder a bit of an edge, so to say, over magical opponents.
Don't be absurd. Dragons? Really? That sounds like a fairy tale. Victoria, don't you agree?
Why isn't it not going? I'm clicking. There we go. But Victoria doesn't answer, her head snapping to the side. At the same time, Zemime's ears perk up in attention. Guys, I'm sensing another sudden burst of spirit energy. In that instant, a familiar kid comes shooting across the corner, wide-eyed and out of breath.
Alchemist! I'm so glad I found... I was going to the alchemy shop, but...
Oh, well, I guess we're more of the artificer then, because we're an alchemist. And that is a... I'm probably getting this wrong, but my only understanding of artificer is from D&D, 5th edition to be exact. So, and that's alchemist is a subclass in that. So maybe wizard, probably a sorcerer, more like.
Ronan, my brother. I saw him.
Well done, Kim. Are you okay? Take a deep breath, because I need you to stay conscious. Slow down there, Kim. Take a deep breath. Kim tries to comply, taking a deep breath in, and now you release it. He uses letting it out, blue in his face.
Well?
My brother. He was with a group of people, and they were all dragging this tall guy with them. I followed them out of town. It looked like they went into the mines. That's brilliant, Kim.
Awesome.
Well done, Kim. We'll go investigate it at once.
Really?
I'm coming along too. I want to help. You've done enough. You'll be in the way. You've done enough.
Actually...
You've done enough, Kim. I said that because I want to keep him as a spy. No one would ever suspect a kid of being a spy, which is why we use kids as spies. Please trust us that we can do our work now, too. Like, literally, in the Middle Ages, probably one of the most common forms of spies were kids because they were small and could get into places. Like, that's why people go to the slums in, like, novels and stuff, because kids are small, but they gather around in groups, which means they have more information, tend to.
Fine. I'll leave it to you, but... please, take care, okay?
Like, people just say random stuff in front of kids because they don't think they're paying attention, but they most of the time are. Kim leaves, and you follow his directions to the mine. You arrive and head inside. The faint glow of the crystals, the only thing lighting your way. As you go further and further, you notice someone standing guard. You're pretty sure you've seen him around town, but buying flowers from Quinn's shop. But no, now his expression is empty. Eyes unfocused, like he isn't entirely there.
Yep. That one's definitely influenced by a spirit.
This is bad. If he sees us, he'll then alert whoever is in there. There's no obvious way to sneak up on him either. Don't you know some alchemy remedy that might help us out? Maybe something that would knock him out for a bit. That's not a bad idea. Though, you should probably be careful not to hurt him. You say that, but witnesses are such a hassle. I'm doing alchemy? So I'm making eternal sleep. Eternal sleep is... So I need that, and then I'm guessing I need... Yes, I need this and... this. Okay, for eternal sleep, I need... this. Ah. How do I... Okay, I might have to connect my thing, because I don't know how to do it anymore. Enter? Backspace, no. Shift? Wait, mix, I gotta mix. You made eternal sleep. Well, let's use this potion. This is probably the wrong potion, but it said eternal sleep and it was the first one I saw. Craft the potion and take a movement to weigh the vial in your hands before throw it into the cave. Glass shatters and a thin white mist spreads. The guard looks around, startled, making a move to run and then immediately slumps forward, collapsing on the floor.
How curious.
What an interesting choice. Alchemy can be kind of scary. I want 10 of these. That was effective. I need more of these for when I'm helping out in the shop. I don't think Elizabeth's going to agree to that.
Time to go.
Enough, let's move. Or just, you know, like what we just used it for, stealth missions. Because I feel like this is going to be a lot. You wander deeper into the mines. The passage ends in an open cave. Hiding behind a pillar of big rocks, someone is standing in the center. Man is on his knees on the cold cave floor, and before them stands Rowan in his frightening demon form.
You have to excuse my lack of manners, but I am growing impatient. Me and my brethren here have been waiting quite a while for this moment, and your stubborn hero charade is honestly starting to piss me off. So I will ask you, for the last time, how do we break the seal?
The man on the ground is unlike anyone you've ever seen before. His skin is a colorless gray hair, white as snow. But along his exposed arm runs glowing blue markings like crystal ore, and when he looks up to glare at the demon, his eyes are alight with the same blue gemstone glow.
You are fooling yourself if you think I'd ever bargain with a demon. Your end will come soon enough. and you will return to your prison once more.
And you believe that you will be the one to do that? The valiant hero swooping in to save the day? How well is that working out for you?
My failure is my shame to bear. I cannot change that. But I refuse to add any more regrets to my name. I will tell you nothing.
He looks like a monk.
And it's good that there are other ways for me to gain your cooperation.
With a wave of his hand, a demon appears at his side, tall and lanky, with soulless eyes staring down at the Outlander, almost hungrily. The Outlander looks mildly queasy, but hides it well behind a sneer.
So you intend to have this one possess me? You don't have the courage to do so yourself?
I usually prefer to be more hands-on. However, this body I'm inhabiting still has its uses, so I can't give it up quite yet. Do not fear, though. My brother here is quite capable of the task.
The demon moves in and the Outlander tries to shift away, but there's nowhere to go. You observe the cave carefully, feeling a spark of nerve settle in your stomach. This is what you agreed to back when you made this deal with Alvelina. These demons are not kidding around. You know first-hand experience, yet something has to be done. I am afraid I have taken too much, but No, I won't be confident. Step into the room boldly.
Enough of this, Ronan. This ends here. I won't allow you to hurt any more people.
Ronan red eyes turn to you, and his head tilts curiously to the side with a wicked grin.
Well, if it isn't the little alchemist. I could have sworn I'd left you dead in a ditch not too long ago. How interesting. Well, that gives me a welcome opportunity to thank you. If it hadn't been for your timely arrival back in that alley, I would never have succeeded in possessing this foolish human properly. But, alas, you are not useful to me now. So it's time for you to die. For real this time.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I agree. After all, it would be a hassle if my guinea pig was to die before I even got to start my research.
You and Mime do what you have to do. We'll make sure you're not interrupted.
Let's do this.
So... Oh wait, I gotta do all sides, which means I need to... Ah.
Pathetic.
It seems I have underestimated you, Alchemist. Trust me when I say that will not happen again. The man disappears into the shadows. You turn to the stranger on the ground who watches you curiously. You alright? Nothing. Not having the best day, huh? Time to get some answers. Honestly, time to get some answers. He seems to know what's going on. You walk up to the stranger and help him get his hands untied.
So...
Hey there, so me and my friends are in need of some answers. Do you think you could lend us a hand?
How curious.
Answers, huh? How curious, I seem to have quite a few questions myself. He looks up at you, and you are startled by the glowing blue orbs piercing right through you. They are beautiful. It's a bit unnerving.
Thank you for your assistance. This wouldn't have ended well for me if you had not shown up when you did.
I know. We couldn't just do nothing. Happy to help. Be happy he didn't stab you. Yeah, that guy's a real pain. You should be grateful he didn't stab you. Not pleasant, let me tell you. Outlander gives you an off look. Right. He looks past you to where the others are standing and he bows his head deeply.
I am most grateful to all of you. That was quite a dangerous situation I found myself in.
Yeah, you really got yourself into a fine mess there. Just who are you and how did you end up captured by such fine people?
My name is Caden. And as for how I came to be here, I was trying to help stop these demons leaking out of their prison. However, my efforts seem to have done nothing more than make the situation worse.
So you had something to do with the demons escaping into town?
Victoria's hand is already reaching towards her sword and Michael turns touch.
How about we let the man talk before you draw that thing?
That's new.
You said you were trying to stop the demons from escaping some prison. Does that mean the spirits were locked away somewhere nearby? That is correct. The underground cavern hosts one of the few known demon prisons within the borders of the Althean Empire. The underground crystal ore seems to have been used to form a protective seal, not unlike how the goddess of mercy won the final battle of the dragons by casting a spell. Yeah, my history knowledge is not too great. Can you explain? Am I anyone else getting this? Yet anyone else getting this?
Huh?
Right, so am I the only one here who has no idea what he's talking about? Look around the room, see varied expressions of confusion.
I don't understand.
You don't know? How is that possible? Maybe the Dags use other terms. These are all legends of the old religion. I'm afraid, my tall friend, that you will have to fill us in, as these stories are not commonly told among people in this land anymore.
How curious.
Well, that's puzzling.
I suppose I can give it a try. Though I am no bard.
Yeah, you're a monk, obviously. Great many centuries ago, before there were humans or outlanders, the Elder Ones who inhabited the continent were at war with the ancient dragons. The war ended when one of the seven gods, the goddess of mercy, cast a spell that sealed away the spirits of the dragons for good. The world was finally at peace, and she and her brethren disappeared. The legend inspired many powerful mages in the centuries to come. They strived to create similar spells to get rid of unfavorable spirits, and these ancient spells relied on the crystals that occur naturally beneath this continent to field their seal. My people hold records over many such spirit prisons spread out across the continent, one of which resides under this valley. When we became aware that humans were now mining this resource, we suspected that we might have unfavorable consequences. It weakened the seal. Exactly.
I came here to mend the damage that had been done. Though, looking back now, I probably should have gone about this differently. I had brought with me an artifact for the task, and was in the midst of performing the ritual to mend the rift, when one of the miners interrupted me. I'm actually not too sure what happened after. The ritual failed, and I woke up in that man, Goldner's, estate. I learned that he was the one in charge of the mining activity, and tried to explain the situation to him. However, he proved to be quite difficult.
That sounds about right. So Goldner's to blame for this mess? You just got unlucky. That sounds about right.
Good old Goldner. Always being an ass, even when the safety of the world is at stake.
That blasted idiot refused to listen to reason. Kept me locked up for days. And when I finally made a lucky escape, he and his goons chased me all across town, and I lost them. But then ran straight into those demon-possessed humans, and, well, you know the rest.
Looks like you've had a real stellar introduction to the outside world.
How shocking.
This is all so much new information, my head's spinning. Dragon spirits? The mines? What are we going to do about all this?
Goldner must pay. We have to save the seal. That's the correct thing to do. But I also want to kill that guy. I'm gonna say we have to seal.
We have to do something about this seal. Making sure no more demons escape should be our first priority.
Do you think we should ask Alithia for help? I mean, I know you're an awesome knight, Victoria, but would it make more sense to have, I don't know, more people here?
I am afraid it's not that simple. While I do think Caden's story is worth looking into, the people in charge of the Knights aren't easily going to dispatch people and possibly cause panic. Not when the only witness is a foreigner.
Well, what do you know, Victoria? I didn't think I'd see the day a knight would admit the system was corrupt. Honesty suits you.
Oh, get lost, Michael. I never said the Empire was perfect, but unlike you, I prefer to make positive changes while keeping order, instead of simply burning the whole thing down.
Burn the system. Anarchy.
You say that as if the world weren't already on fire.
Anarchy.
Is no one going to address the fact that all of this is based on, what? A legend? Dragons and spells of some forgotten goddess? None of this is based on factual information.
The records kept by my people are not lacking. If you want proof, then I am sure we can cross-reference it with any of this town's records.
That's going to be difficult.
I don't follow.
Back before our dear Academy mage was born, the Empire decided keeping records was too troublesome. It's much easier to appear competent after all, when all proof of your past mistakes disappears. So all such documents were destroyed. Whatever records they might have had in this town, they are gone. Together with the people who wrote them.
So the people would willingly destroy their own history? That's madness.
Welcome to human society.
I gotta go with this because I'm going down her route. But honestly, I trust Caden more than he's like, oh yeah, no, I have an explanation of what's going on. It might not line up with what you guys been told, but like they have records. We destroyed ours. I trust the people that have records and proof, other than the ones who destroyed their own. I understand, Anne, but he's the only lead we got.
I understand your concern, Anne, and I agree. However, his story does seem to match up with what we've seen so far, and right now, he's the only lead we've got. So let's hear him out for now, okay?
Suit yourself, I guess.
Than is appeased for the moment. Victoria returns to the Outlander, questions in her eyes.
You mentioned some kind of spell that could stop this?
I brought an artifact with me that has the power needed to mend tears in seals like these. If I'd succeeded in stabilizing it, then things could have gone back to the way they were. As long as no one went and broke it again.
Did you say powerful artifact?
Anne, please calm yourself. You'll scare the man.
Well, that's going to be the end of this episode, so... I hope you enjoyed. We're going to just leave it there because my throat started to get hoarse and it's about to be 40 minutes.